Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the wonderful world of XRP, taking a look at what's been going on most recently, what we think is likely to happen next, and all that wonderful stuff. As I get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not subscribe as well. If you haven't joined us in Discord though, you are missing a trick. Check it out. The link is in the description below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. Let's get right into this video though, right? So XRP paired up with USDT. We're using the BitGet spot exchange on the 1 hour time frame, and yeah, let's review what's been going on. So we kind of are expecting a little bit of a move to the downside here for XRP, right? But this is only micro movements. We might see this play out a little bit. We're actually holding up incredibly well right now. A bit of a sideways trade that you can kind of see going on in here. Let's go ahead and just kind of focus in on this most recent movement. So we're kind of expecting a brief move up towards our equilibrium and 200 EMA. So that's about 47.616. So a move upwards before we kind of move down, right? So kind of a brief move here. It isn't much at all. From the current pricing at the point of recording this video, you're talking 2%, right? It isn't much. From there though, my expectations are that we probably have to come down into our yellow box range with more like a 5% move to the downside. Okay, so brief move up, only to fall down later. However, looking at it, it looks like we are kind of getting ourselves wedged up tight into a bit of a triangular shape pattern here that's probably not going to work in our favor. We'll see how this one plays out. I think we could probably go either way at this point, so it's a little bit complicated and awkward. But as you can kind of see here, over the next couple of hours, something is going to happen. Looking at it, we'll probably break up, and that will probably head towards equilibrium. That's kind of what I want to occur, but I'm not 100% confident on that. So equilibrium, 200 EMA, that's the target range, right? 47.49 upwards towards 47.616, right? That's the kind of target. From there, we move on down. So you can see that we're coiling up, and that's kind of the expectation. We want to kind of move up. I'm not confident on it because essentially we can see here that we are just kind of getting ourselves wedged up where there isn't really much demand in either direction. So although our oscillator, our stochastic RSI indicator, is telling us that we're seeing momentum shift back to the oversold area, I am cautious that actually if I take this to the 4 hour time frame, we are sat rather high for a break upwards. Now it's still possible, of course. The stochastic RSI does not relate to price. It's just an indicator of how much momentum there is behind price action. And at the moment, there just isn't really much momentum behind anything that's going on over the last few hours. So it's kind of one of those. It's the case of I want us to move upwards. The structure from an Elliott wave theory point of view would tell us that it is an upward directional move, which is just a B wave out of a larger move to the downside. But that we should break out of this triangular wedge to the upside before we move on down into our yellow box range, which, you know, is going to basically be between 44.9 and 45.97. So there's a few things here that I would be looking for. If I'm to short this market, I would be looking at trying to short this on the 200 EMA, put in my stop loss above my swing high up here. So that would be about 48.43. And I'm going to basically go ahead and put my TP somewhere down here. Now I'm going to target out a nice area for profit to start with, and I would move my TP or put a trailing stop in later, but I'd be targeting out probably a 2.5 in this case because I don't know the exact area that we're going to finish until wave B has finished, if that makes sense. So a short position on XRP is kind of where I think I would go, right? I'd wait for us to go up there, and if we don't go up to my area, then this trade isn't for me. That it has to kind of meet my requirements here, otherwise it's just a waste of my time. I'm not going to pay too much attention to it. So if it comes up towards our 200 EMA, let's say 47.616, I would enter into a short, let's say, and I would put my stop loss up here at the 48.434, and I'd put my TP somewhere down here at a 2.5 risk reward ratio, which would be approximately 45.5, right? that would be how I would approach it. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you financial advice. All I can do is show you how I would personally approach this market if I wanted to short XRP. Now, I might do this. I haven't actually done much trading recently, just simply I haven't had the time. And I'm trying to find some time to get back into it. Maybe this is that opportunity for me to get into a bit more trading. So if you're in a Discord and if you're a member of our trader tier over at the membership.𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗪.io website, and you are aware of all the kind of things that we do from a trading point of view, maybe you're in the elite channels as well using BitGet, then what you might see me place that trade. You'll never know, right? Keep an eye out on that one. But yeah, that's my approach to that. I think we're going to break upwards briefly, and then we're going to move down quite rapidly. And there's some fantastic gains to be made in that if you are a leverage-based trader. And XRP is an incredibly volatile asset, but normally I don't like to go against the trend. Here, I think we have a pretty clear structured move. I could be wrong on this, of course, which is why it's always good and important to have a nice tight stop loss in places and not to over leverage yourself, right? Don't get greedy. Greed is your enemy here. Just look for nice small profits, and be happy with a 20% increase on your trade, right? Don't be thinking you can get hundreds and thousands of % in gains. Those kind of slips that you see out there are all kind of usually fake, where people have increased the leverage once they are significantly in the green, and they don't actually earn 1,000, 2,000%. It's just all about calculations for the slips. So just bear that in mind. There's lots of ways to trick retail investors into thinking that these people are fantastic traders. Generally speaking, I aim for a nice 20% growth on the account. If I can get more than 20%, I'm happy. But 20% is kind of where I like to kind of be at. I don't want to be doing 100% moves and things like that. They're higher risk, and greed kind of gets you. I like to make nice steady income. That is how I like to approach my trading. So as we can kind of see here, that's kind of my thoughts on the 1 hour time frame for XRP. Now, does this distract us from the bigger macro moves? No, it doesn't. Essentially, our bigger macro moves are all still very valid. They are all in play, but we need to see some of those micro movements play out first, right? It can't just go straight to the higher target range. You need to see things kind of playing out quite naturally first. And so we're still technically within this B wave movement, in my opinion, waiting for that next kind of bigger impulsive movement upwards towards our C wave target. That is 61.78 to 66.65. That's still very much valid. And at the moment, we kind of find ourselves in this this triangular shaped wedge pattern of a B wave pattern on a much larger weekly scale. Okay, so this here is the daily time frame, right? And you can kind of see that we're tracking this smaller movement. If I zoom out of this, you can see that actually we're inside a B wave out of this C wave here, right? So although we're in a B wave of the B wave looking for the C wave to go up higher, essentially we are just a part of a much bigger play overall, which will take months to play out. Okay, so just bear in mind different time frames, different time horizons, and different expectations that you need to have with each of those. Nothing is instantaneous. It's the common thing that you find in some cryptocurrency communities is that the second that an individual, a retail investor, has bought a cryptocurrency, they expect it cannot go down anymore. It can only go up now that they have bought it. And this is the unfortunate thing with emotions in the cryptocurrency space. The second that something doesn't go in the direction that a retail investor wants it to, they call it a scam because they got burnt. Everyone else is going to get burnt because it's a scam. They got scammed. It didn't go in a direction that they thought it was going to go in. It went in the opposite direction and so forth, right? You have to understand how markets work. Everything comes down to supply demand. Nothing else is really overly that important. Supply and demand are the two things that are going to control the market, and it's the same with every market, right? If you've got excess supply and insufficient demand, so excess supply, insufficient demand, price is going down regardless of how great of a commodity or security or utility token that it is, right? It doesn't matter what it is. If there is too much supply and not enough demand, price will go down, okay? And the opposite is true, right? If demand is high and your supply is low, there's only one place that price is going, and that is to the moon, right? So it's very important that we understand that supply and demand are the only two things that really matter. Everything else is just a brief distraction from the fundamental basics of any market, right? So if we understand these things and we kind of get a good grip on what's going to cause price to move upwards and what's going to cause price to move downwards, then we can understand where our current structures lie, whether or not we are short-term bullish or short-term bearish, and all these kind of things. Essentially, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're on the right side of any potential given trade and making sure that we are basically going to be taking profit from those particular positions. And there's many different approaches to this: buy, hodl, store, hold it for 10 years, whatever that may be, all the way through to short-term, day, 2-day trading kind of thing, right? For the most part, I mix both. I have a cold storage device that is my long-term holding positions. I'll just dollar cost average as things appear to be undervalued, i.e. we're less than 90% of its all-time high. Like, it's undervalued at that point. Some of them are 95%, some of them are like really deep. Now, obviously you have to have fundamental analysis that goes along with your technical analysis. You can't just solely go on, oh, the chart looks good, if the coin has absolutely zero utility and zero use case, and no commits on GitHub, for example. That's something you're going to want to avoid. Fundamental analysis cannot be avoided. Fundamental analysis is absolutely critical in actually making sure that you're going to be dollar cost averaging and building a hodl position on a project that actually has a future. Otherwise, what is the point, right? You're just basically wasting your money and your time. So make sure that you do fundamental analysis and then back that fundamental analysis up with some good technical analysis as to whether or not things are actually in a good accumulative areas. And in the case of XRP here, that's kind of what we do, right? We have good fundamental understanding of what XRP is, how the XRPL works, and all the things that are being built and all that kind of wonderful stuff, coupled with some technical analysis that shows us with some interesting kind of structures that could give us potential gains in the future, understanding where the value sits, right? And so for me, when I zoom out of this, we can see future potential here, at least even outside of the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit and all that kind of stuff. I think things are looking pretty positive for XRP. Let me know what your thoughts are though down in the comments below. If you found this video useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done out of the way, guys, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
We are not financial advisors. None of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to lose your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.